Hi there, my name is Jason Perkins. Welcome to another episode in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. If you're new to this series, I'm a Georgia Workers' Compensation attorney. I started preparing this series because I want to provide people with helpful information about Georgia Workers' Compensation law and the benefits available to them under that law. Today I want to talk to you about whether you can sue your employer for injuries that happen to you at work. Well, the answer is kind of. You can't file a lawsuit against your employer, but you will receive workers' compensation benefits, which is kind of like a lawsuit. So first, let's talk about why you can't sue your employer. There's this concept under Georgia law that's called exclusive remedy. What exclusive remedy provides is that you get workers' compensation benefits instead of the right to file a lawsuit against your employer. So the state of Georgia has decided for you that you can't sue your employer for an injury that occurs at work. And that's the case even if your employer was negligent and caused your injuries. You get workers' compensation instead. This applies in almost all situations. The good news is you get workers' compensation benefits. And workers' compensation does have advantages over a lawsuit against your employer in some situations. For example, you'll generally receive medical and wage loss benefits much quicker in a workers' compensation claim than you would in a lawsuit. Medical and wage loss benefits generally start within weeks after your injury occurs, and they may start even sooner. In a typical lawsuit that you might file against your employer, it may be years before you get to court and receive the benefits that you should for your medical treatment and your wage loss. So that's a big advantage of workers' compensation over the right to file a lawsuit. The bad news is workers' compensation doesn't cover everything that a lawsuit would cover. There's some benefits that workers' compensation doesn't provide. The big benefit is pain and suffering, and it doesn't cover your full wage loss benefits. It covers a percentage of them instead. So there are downsides to workers' compensation over a lawsuit in some situations, but the state of Georgia has made that choice for you. You don't get to decide whether you're going to file a personal injury lawsuit or a workers' compensation claim. The state decide for you that you're going to get workers' compensation and not have the right to sue your employer for a personal injury. So that means that you need to make the best of your workers' compensation claim and make sure that you receive all the benefits that you should under that claim. I do want to talk about one other quick thing, and that is there are some situations where you can file a personal injury lawsuit and a workers' compensation claim. And that's where you have your workers' compensation claim against your employer, but you also have someone else who caused your injuries, so that you have the right to sue them in a personal injury claim. A classic example is a car wreck where you're working and driving a vehicle and someone else crashes into you and is negligent and causes you to get hurt. Well, you may get workers' compensation because you were injured on the job, but you also have a personal injury lawsuit against the other individual that caused your injuries, or even if there's another company that caused your injuries, you might have a personal injury lawsuit in that situation. Hope you found this information about whether you can sue your employer for injuries at work helpful. If you have, please let me know that. The best way you can do that is by liking this video and giving it a thumbs up. If you got more questions about Georgia workers' compensation law, I think the best thing to do is get answers to those questions, and the best way to do that is by setting up a free consultation about your workers' compensation case. If you'd like to do that, I'm happy to schedule a consultation with you. There's two easy ways that you can do that. First is by calling the phone number at the bottom of the screen, and the other is by visiting our website, which is www.perkinslawtalk.com, clicking on and submitting the free consultation request form, and a member of our workers' compensation team will reach out to you and get a consultation scheduled. I'd like to thank you again for watching this video today. I want to wish you the best of luck as you recover from your injuries.